Thank you very much for your invitation, kind invitation. I'd like to explain a little bit about our Mexico development. As you know, we start running with this kind of technology, this effort, since 1991. But we have a recent evolution that I would like to show you. Recently, the Friday, last April, we get a big earthquake, and it occurs. This table is reflecting the data coming with these calls from every station in real time, and there you can see the range of different kind of range forecast. It occurs. This is the S-wave traveling. Well, taking care, we have a great distance between the focus and the city. It's a privilege from this Mexico condition, but let's, well, many comments was written. You surely know these notes published in many news media and many specialized magazines. The warning was issued many cities in our country. The first detection, the origin time was here. The first station with records of this earthquake appeared here. This is the moment of the warning, and then in Acapulco, you have 24 seconds before the S-wave. Chilpancingo, the capital of Guerrero, Morelia, the capital of Michoacán, Mexico City, more than 70 seconds, probably the S-wave is a little later. The Colima, 80 seconds, and Oaxaca, far away, 100 seconds. This is the relative advantage of this warning. Here we have a second warning determination. We can explain later. In Mexico City, as you know, we have a network accelerometer, strong motion network operating. And here we have some estimation of the intensity of this movement related with the acceleration interval registered. Here we have the greatest effect in the south part of the city. It's a soft soil considered strong in this part of the city. We developed the possibility to detect P and S phases. Here is an accelerometer. We are using the ratio of the vertical and horizontal energies. You know, as Nakamura proposed it. And then here we have the peak wave phase initiating, and then here we recognize the S wave. The second method applies the average of the short time acceleration energies, the vertical and the horizontal one. When it changes, we detect the P and the S wave mainly. And then with this criteria, we recognize the beginning of the earthquake. The first energy, it occurs during the first 3 seconds, we generate the first energy, the first magnitude forecast at that moment. And then we are using the energy of the vertical record, acceleration record. We recognize at the middle of this period the rate of growing, and in this moment the rate of growing, and then we compare and we can define some possibility to know the magnitude. And then the forecast magnitude. This is the second opportunity to determine another possibility of magnitude range, is waiting until the S wave. And the second is the original one method you applied in Guerrero, waiting for twice the SP time, considering the high energy enriched and the rate of growing at this moment. With this knowledge, we have some analysis about the accuracy of these methods. This is the official magnitude. This is the SASMEX determination. It's a high accuracy with the method of 3 seconds. The method of SP time present a very good accuracy with historical events, and the final method, the original one, has a great, we have more than 20 years experience with this, and has been adjusted, and this is a good opportunity to know the size of the earthquake. Well, the system is operating since 1991 until now. We have more than 55,000 records from events occurring between these magnitudes, and the SASMEX determination was capable to detect the worst, the most dangerous earthquakes, more than 130, near to 140. No alert the rest. This is very important because we have no false alert due to very small earthquakes. Mexico, the cities, Mexican cities with this service start in Mexico City since 1991, public and private preventive warnings. It depends on the range, higher over 6 range, it generates a public warning, and lower than 6 generates preventive warning just for schools or some application, special application. This is a general warning. Oaxaca started operating since 203 with this figure of warning issued. Acapulco since 207 with these services. Chilpancingo almost the same, and Morelia recently, the last year, with the 6 public and 4 preventive. This is an important consideration. Every city knows the message sent by the station once the earthquake is occurring. Depending on the nearest station calling, they decide made the determination of the distance, and the other depending on the city authorities, in Mexico they ask for more than 6. In Oaxaca, they ask a public warning with the event is more than 5.5 due to the more nearest distance in this service. This is the truth table, the key code to open the warning. If you receive more than 2 calls from nearest stations, like here, you must warn in general, federal warning. Depending on the combination of the second message sent or the combination of this, you can decide applying the distance criteria as a public if you are near, using the most quickly range determination. The second one could be wait. If you are far away, you can apply the more time determination, like here, and then depending on this range generated in every station, you can decide how to warn. The warning broadcast delay time is very critical. You must apply. Well, we are applying in Mexico since the original services in Mexico City. We are operating the transmitters from many radio broadcast services like TV or AM/FM applications in metropolitan city area. Now controlling the point-multi-point private broadcast, and we have the knowledge of the earthquake occurring in the city, and if it requires, we generate the seismic alerting code. This switch takes the information, critical information about warning, and then send it to the people living in this area. Recently, we select your NOAA public alert development, very powerful development, to start transmitting earthquake early warning since 2008. And we made enhancement of these receivers. We generate a new code to warn more quickly, and then it started operating since 2011. Now we are very interested into make better operation of the cell phones, mobile cell phones application, because they are pushing the possibility to share, to make the dissemination of the earthquake early warning in any place. But it is very interesting. We must, with this figure, we must control the mobile and broadcast mobile cell phone in every area with seismic vulnerability. Now we are applying this development in more than 95,000 schools in the urban area in Mexico, in Chilpancingo, and Guerrero, in Acapulco, and Oaxaca. It is a powerful and no expensive option, and includes the possibility to warn other kind of dangers as you are using in the States. This is the sound included in the receiver. Once you must inform about earthquake warning, it open in every classroom in many schools. This is the mayor of the city informing about this development. It's operating since 2011, and this probably could be used with some kind of advantage in LA, in California area, using the signal earthquake early warning criteria generated locally. This is the diffusion, the main contact with the population, and it could be applied. It's certified in US for operation in your country. Here, I would like to introduce Mr. Efrain Patel. He will explain this. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Efrain Patel, and I'm only electronic engineer, so my only touch with the ground is when I'm working in my backyard. So anyway, interesting thing about the radio, as you notice, Mr. Spinoza and his team is in charge not only on the detection, but also on the warning to the public. They are tasked by the government to do that in the various locations. So that's, we met in 2007, I guess, and it was an interesting meeting because they came and said, fine, we have a wonderful system working for many years. We detect the hazard coming, but somehow we don't deliver the message to the right people on time, and not enough people are taking action. What should we do? And that's how we came up, and we have to start almost from nothing, because in Mexico, unlike in the US, they don't have the emergency alert system. So we had to start from afresh, build an infrastructure, at least in standards and protocols for all hazard warning system, and out of it go to the earthquake portion of it. And we had to work on two main components. One is the technical components, relatively easy, straightforward. Make things that work very fast. So if you got few seconds of warning, you got 10, 11, 20, you don't want to spend 15 seconds of that on the delivery, the technical delivery. You want only about 1 second, and that's what we achieved. The second component is more the social component, is how to make sure that people really act when they get the message. Because the detection system is already working well, how you make them to really perceive that there's a warning. And that's how we came up with that tone that you heard earlier, with some breaks that's saying that there is a seismic warning, alerta sísmica. And the instruction is any time that you hear the stone, unless it's the annual exercise, any time that you hear the stone, immediately take shelter. And normally the duration of the signal is the time that you need to be in the shelter. So you go there for a minute, or it depends. Fortunately, in Mexico, they have a relatively long time. Go take shelter. When the sound is off, the incident is about over, unless you already felt it and you know that it's done. And I would suggest for us here to think about adapting that tone as a public tone. They hear it not only on the specific radio, they hear it on the other radio stations, in a building PA. If they have PA sirens, it's over the PA sirens. So this could be an, how to call it, North American seismic warning tone. Maybe we're still in a position that we can decide what is this tone. So this is a suggestion anyway. So that's where we are with the radio. And as Mr. Spinoza mentioned, all the schools are equipped with that. For this, we had to build a transmission network in Mexico. Unlike this one here in California, as you can see, we have already 33 such transmitters. So we have a suggestion here to adapt the same method, and it's easy, I would say, talking about budget, not in the even 1 million range. We only need to put a source from the CISN to NOAA and they have about 10 centers that cover all of those 33 transmitters, the Weather Forecast Office. And as soon as you give them the instruction, they activate the relevant transmitter with the same code that exists today in a level of a county resolution. Many counties have the sub-county division as well. And this can be used, I would say, in a matter of a month from a decision, unless there's too much red tape to cut. I had to look at the Napa earthquake. It woke me up just like 10 days ago. And I felt kind of stupid that here I am working on seismic warning for years, and at home the earthquake itself had to wake me up, and no warning before that. Anyway, looking at that and talking about public alerting, it seems that we have 3 different areas, and we did define the alert levels into 3, and we'll see that shortly. And only in the area that you are having a severe shock, where you really need to take immediate action to do something, not only to lie in bed and think how stupid you are. Yeah. Only these areas, I would say, the radio will activate, the public radio. And by the way, I didn't mention, but all other radios that are available in the market will also activate, maybe not as fast as this one, but they also will activate when we get the signal over NOAA. So I don't know how fast that map could be generated. I hope that the view of the real technical stuff here is that, hey, me as a public warning specialist, this is what I'd like to get and inject that into our public warning system and use that as the activation tool to alert the public really wherever they need to be alerted and in the right level of alerting. And always the question comes, what do you do in the few seconds So this is very fast. So seconds aren't fast, especially if you still need to comprehend what do you need to do. So that's why it's very critical to have an immediate message to the public that everyone understands. It's earthquake. I need to start my operation now, not to start to look for calling mom, what's happening, and so on and so forth. Immediately take an action. You got that tone. Protected and so on, no commercials using it, so that's what can protect and save life. And about the levels of the alert, again, we saw in a way, Japan one has maybe 3, I would say, weak, which doesn't do anything, and I don't know how to call it. Anyway, these are the levels and examples of what a system would do at what level of alerts. The lines between really lies in the current infrastructure at the location. If it is California, relatively new with a very good code, I would say maybe 6.5, I don't know, just a suggestion. In Mexico, you already heard, one place is 6, another place is 5.5. Again, depends on the strength of the building, infrastructure, and so on and so forth. So these lines are more, maybe can change a long time. Hopefully the first decision will be good enough, but that can change. And what we are going to do here in Contra Costa, just a couple of miles east, in the coming exercise, we will try a complete system that is installed in place, running the simulation of earthquake alert. We have few components. One is the radio that I mentioned earlier that will be checked more in details because we need to learn kind of not the technical operation, but the social acceptance, how it will be working really with the public, both a specific radio that can be installed in places, available Radio Shack and so on. Mobile application, this is important tool because the mobile devices today, the smartphones, know their location, so you can really target that map that we showed earlier. You can use that, and each device can produce the relevant alert to its location. And of course, we need to learn how to use the IPOS. This one we will use only in test mode, but the IPOS relatively is not as fast as we would like, but how fast it is, maybe we'll learn later on. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're running a little behind, but again, for those of us who are trying to develop systems, we have great admiration for people who have actually been operating them. And just one quick question from me is, now that you've been running this system for 20 years, the rest of us are trying to get the support to do this in other places. And in Mexico, how is the support? I mean, I know we all struggle for funds, but the general populace, now do they just expect that early warning will be a reality in Mexico forever?
Mexico City, mainly, yes. They have knowledge about many good warning earthquakes, and many people accept, and other ones prefer to not express their opinion, but the people acceptance is winning. We are worried about the financial of the authorities, because every 6 years we change our governor figure, and then they need to start believing in this challenge, in this danger. It's unfortunately it's a big, real danger, and then they must continue pushing. Recently, fortunately, later the Haiti big earthquakes in 2010, they start pushing, and recent investment a little bit more than 200 million pesos. Let's grow a little bit more the system until now. But, well, it's a continuous problem. Thanks.
I'm sure it will be for all of us. Thank you very much. So